Namaskar, hello and welcome friends to Finavision, your one-stop solution for CFA exams. My name is Shushmit Aditya Mukherjee. I'm an educator and an investment research analyst, and this video is a short excerpt from the full class series for CFA Level 3 curriculum. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get started.
Exogenous shocks to growth. Exogenous shocks to growth. Now, what are the primary reasons for these kind of shocks to happen? We will talk about them one by one. The first one is policy changes. Let's say the entire economy of a state was till now dependent on oil and gas. Oil and gas was the primary fuel driving the vehicles or driving the transportation of the entire economy. Now, due to certain policy changes, the stress has shifted to renewable energy. And renewable energy is getting subsidies, they are getting less taxation, and on the other hand, oil and gas are getting more and more policy constraints, the taxes are rising, etc. etc. Therefore, what can happen is the existing business structure, if this is done too drastically, the existing business structure may get hampered for a certain amount of time. And this is one way that the policy changes can impact the markets. Another example can be, let's say the agri industry is dependent very much on inorganic fertilizers. Now, the policy is shifting towards using less and less inorganic fertilizers and more and more natural alternatives. They are shifting toward natural alternatives like organic fertilizers, like putting back organic matter into the soil, like doing forestry, and all these factors. Now, this can hamper the industry which was pre-existing, right? And this can in turn hamper the value chain of this industry. For example, inorganic fertilizers can be made out of petrochemicals, and petrochemicals may be produced by oil refineries. So all these things can be interlinked and the entire chain may be under stress for some amount of time. Even though the chain may be necessary, but this can put some stress in the system. And this is what we mean by policy changes impacting the system. Then, new technologies. The next way this can happen is new technologies, new products or new services. Now, just to take an example, Gen AI is a classic example of new technologies. which is disrupting the workflow. The entire workflow is getting automated at certain levels. And this can impact industries, this can impact employments, this can impact the way the things are done, and all these things. We do not even know how many ways this can impact, right? Now, in terms of service, I can take an example of the e-commerce industry. During the late 1990s, a company named Amazon pioneered this industry where you can order online and get things delivered at your doorstep. And this was a revolutionary service which actually created a global conglomerate named Amazon. And these kind of changes actually impact the industry, the entire economy in certain profound ways, which can be measurable, which may not be measurable. Example of product can be modern digital cameras taking shape from the previous kind of cameras, right? There are companies like Canon and Sony which are making modern day products, while the previous generation of cameras were being built by companies like Kodak. So this was another change where companies evolved and new companies emerged and a kind of evolution took place in the industry. So these are other ways in which disruptions happen or shocks happen to the economy. Geopolitics. A primary example can be application of tariffs. Another example can be geopolitical tensions disrupting trade routes. Another example can be geopolitical tensions hiking the prices of oil because of transport disruption or because of supply demand chain disruption, right? Oil prices can go up. So this is another way in which shocks may occur, right? Natural disasters. Well, natural calamities tend to happen once in a while, and when they happen, they actually tend to impact every sphere of life. And obviously, economics is a part of it. So this is another factor to reckon with. Then comes financial crisis. Now, financial crisis is something which is not a sudden disruption. It generally tends to build up over a period of time. Maybe a prolonged period of high interest rates, very high interest rates, or a prolonged period of very low interest rates or negative interest rates, or a prolonged period of high inflation, or a prolonged period of deflation. All these things can impact the financial system or the economic system in very profound ways, and this can be counted as a shock. But this is more of a build up than a sudden shock. Unless there are some certain policy changes or geopolitical changes which are being influenced, which gives a financial shock itself, which creates a financial shock itself. These are generally factors that build up over a period of time rather than shocks. Shocks can also happen. Some policy changes or some geopolitical scenarios, some currency scenarios can actually create a shock also, but generally it's a build up which happens. This creates a financial crisis. And because even if the build up happens over a period of time, the impact can be so sudden and drastic that we can actually categorize it as an exogenous shock. So these were a few factors in which shocks can happen to the growth patterns, and this is what actually creates the cyclicality. Let's move on to the next section.
The link to the full class video is given in the description below. Please check that out. Thank you so much friends for being with me till the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such classes. Share your feedback in the comment section below and share this video with a friend who may find this helpful. For enrollment to practical application courses, internships and CFA curriculum classes, check the description below. Till then, keep watching Finnovision. See you in the next class.